Yeah, we towed our caravan all around Australia and never had an issue yet.
This is the SUV you buy when brand appeal and badge snobbery are higher on your priority list than build quality, reliability. Do you like Christmas trees? Because that's what the dashboard becomes in no time.
Oh, yeah.
Who in the name of all things messed up in the world right now is paying $125,000 for this piece of shit? This could be the worst car of all time.
But they're so cheap.
You ready?
There are plenty of SUVs out there that we wouldn't buy. In fact, probably most of them.
Yep.
But this is our list of the real stinkers.
Yeah, and look, some of this list is subjective, but these cars can also have a long list of concerns, so there are some objective facts in there. But again, as Jim just said, we wouldn't buy them, so therefore we don't think you should either. Okay, so sorry to interrupt the video, but we've got some absolutely massive news. On the morning of Sunday, December 7th at Shannon's in Artarmon in Sydney, we're going to be hosting our first ever Cars and Coffee event. For us, it's more of a Cars and Small Pretentious Coffee event. But look, this thing is completely free and open to the public. We have some amazing cars already lined up for display. It's going to be so exciting.
I know. And later that night, also at Shannon's Artarmon, we're having our first ever live ticketed show.
With our mate John Cadogan from Auto Expert. Basically, think of this as, it's kind of like a live podcast event. We're going to be talking all things new and used cars. We're going to be talking some behind the scenes stuff for both ReDriven and Auto Expert. There's going to be a Q&A section so we can answer all of your burning questions. Plus, tickets are selling really fast already and they are limited. So make sure you get your tickets by hitting the link down below and we'll see you there. Back to the video.
Now, in no particular order, the first one is the Nissan Pathfinder, the R52.
Yeah, my God. Okay,
What a donkey.
I've been unfortunate enough to have a few of these as press cars. There are 3 iterations of this, right? And they did get better as they went on. But even when they're brand new, I reckon the only reason you'd buy one of these is if you didn't test drive any other vehicle. And if you did test drive other vehicles, they must have been from just after World War II to make this thing look even slightly
Compared to a
acceptable
Willys
buy.
Jeep, yeah, you might consider it.
Compared to a Panzer tank, it's a possibility. And you think, being from Japan, it'd be a good car.
Oh, wait, it isn't.
It's not from Japan. These are made in the United States.
Yeah.
This is an American car.
Not that that's why it's bad, but it's
Exactly.
bad and it's from the United States. You can draw your own conclusions.
Now, look, the reasons we wouldn't buy it, CVTs.
Oh, yeah. That's probably the biggest and worst reason to not have one of these. So many of them failed back in the day. It's not funny. Yeah, ridiculous.
And unfortunately now, you'll have owners that think they're doing the right thing by servicing it on the scheduled servicing, which is just going to be death to the CVT. So really the only ones that are lasting out there are the ones that are being serviced well ahead of schedule or having their CVTs serviced well ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
That's a tiny minority of the ones on the used market.
This is one of the cars that was instrumental in giving the Nissan and CVT the whole bad reputation that it has. It was from this car, yeah.
But also, like engine-wise, these aren't too bad. It's only the CVT.
Yeah, the VQ35 is actually a pretty stout unit.
Yeah.
That CVT behind it, oh God, no.
It's also important to remember, this was made at a really interesting time for Nissan. There was a lot of cost cutting going on. For this particular car, especially in the US, there was a massive focus on fleet sales. So the cars didn't really need to last that long.
No, and also if you didn't know, there is a hybrid version of these, which nobody bought. In fact, it made for less than 2% of all sales globally.
Wow.
And if you see one, maybe they'll make it a collectible.
Maybe.
So rare. It's so rare, maybe you should collect it. Probably not. You are never going to buy parts for it. Yeah, if it's a hybrid run. Yeah.
But even when these things are at their best, they're below average. They're rubbish to drive. The build quality is clearly not very good. The tech in them is terrible.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Even though you don't see many of them on the roads, there is still a surprisingly large number of them for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, pricing kicks off from about $2,500, which is probably what they're worth.
Yeah.
It tops out at the moment here in Australia at $45,000. Who's paying $45,000 for one of these?
Probably no one.
Surely not.
Yeah.
Okay, now this next one, we have done a full video review of this car, and it was a heartbreaker for me because before doing the review and the research, I really like these, especially the spicy models. But this is bad.
Yeah.
You should not buy one of these.
It's heartbreaking.
It's the Mercedes-Benz GLC, all of them, including the AMG models. This is a short overview of the video. Loads of electrical gremlins, water ingress issues, trim pieces falling off, even the badges the badges fall out. How, like, if they can't get the badge to stay on the car properly, what's it saying about the rest of the car?
And wait, that's the only reason people buy the car, for the badge.
This is true. Infotainment issues. Like the whole infotainment system can just glitch or lock up or just completely fail. Then the interior, when you drive it, you're going to want to love squeaks and rattles. Nothing screams premium German SUV like a rattly interior, and these things rattle. And again, including the AMG models.
Yeah, and mechanically speaking, it's all pretty much doom and gloom there. The early ones had a terrible habit of the pistons just breaking in half, and there's a whole bunch of other engine issues and transmission issues. They're weirdly, they're a premium brand, but they're not a premium product.
Funny that.
Yeah.
And also, after you've bought it, then you've got to deal with the massive amounts of depreciation, really heavy insurance costs, maintenance, parts, servicing. All of that stuff is asking a premium.
Yeah.
And also, to drive, just nothing special.
No.
If you look past the badge, like a Hyundai Santa Fe or a Kia Sorento is, I think, a nicer car to drive.
Blindfolded, you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, this is.
In fact, you might, because the Kia and Hyundai might have less squeaks and rattles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a massive letdown for Mercedes-Benz fans. I think if you're into these, you deserve better. Simple as that.
Yeah, pricing ranges from $15,000 to $170,000 for the spicy.
I know.
My God.
But
Why?
even,
How?
But even at $170,000, you're still buying all the squeaks and the rattles and the electronic issues and the trim falling off and the plastic.
That's a
bits
standard
failing.
feature across all models.
That's standard. Comes as standard. Don't have to option any of that.
Yeah.
But also at the cheapest, $15,000. If they're $15,000 after this short period of time, and they were what, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, what's that saying? What's that telling you about the value of this?
Can you imagine how expensive a $15,000 one of these is actually going to be?
What's the old saying? There's nothing more expensive in the world than a cheap Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, run. Going from one car that's all about branding and marketing hype to another, it's the Range Rover Evoque.
Wow.
My
How
God.
are these things? So we're talking about the L538. That's 2012 to 2018. Oh, my God. Do you like Christmas? Do you like Christmas trees? Because that's what the dashboard becomes in no time.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
It's just stunning. All the lights.
It's a form of
flashing up.
ambient lighting.
It is.
All the fault lights.
The amount of random electronic issues these things can have. But also, it's like then trying to diagnose them to work out what the issue actually is.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems with these cars. Yeah, they have some engine issues, which we'll get to. But overall, just everything electrical just has all these quirks. The seats quirk. Don't work. The windows screw up. The door locks. Every little thing at some point will give you grief.
And then you read the owners groups and you'll have someone that will fix the fact that the power folding mirror has stopped working. They fix that. But then what happens? The other mirror starts playing up. Or weirdly, the sunroof suddenly stops working if the mirrors do work. It's just this like you fix one thing and then you've got to go and fix something else all over again.
Yeah. Mechanically speaking, they're prone to wheel bearing failures and suspension failures, especially any models with any type of airbag system. You want to stay away from that.
Absolutely. Fit and finish and just overall build quality.
Yeah.
Like I've driven a few of these now and every one I've driven, I just go, how like this, it just feels cheap and nasty.
Yeah. Let's talk about the engine. This is the Ingenium family of engine, and it is possibly the engine with the worst reliability reputation in modern engines. It has timing chain complications, EGR, DPF complications, oil leaks, fuel leaks. It has them all. They are. You Google, is an Ingenium engine a good engine? It will tell you no, it is not.
And then when it comes time to fixing it, all the parts are expensive. And if you're getting it done by your local Land Rover or Range Rover dealer, they're going to charge a bloody fortune for it.
Yeah, anything in that engine bay or under the car is really difficult to work on. It's all crammed in there. It's just poorly designed. From a repair and maintenance perspective, it's really poorly designed.
Just no longevity.
Yeah, no.
And then again, financially, massive depreciation.
Oh, God,
catastrophic depreciation. These things are kicking off from $8,000. Don't be tempted. Do not buy an $8,000 Evoque. Also, don't buy a $65,000 Evoque because that's what they top out at.
No,
it's not worth $65,000. Brand new, this car should have been $24,990 drive away. Because that's what it feels like.
What's the appeal here?
The appeal is the image and the looks and the branding. And look, you know what? If you're prioritizing brand appeal and that kind of the wank factor, that's totally fine. That's a totally valid reason to buy a car.
If you're talking about the looks, you mean people looking at you in their car, because no one's actually looking.
No, they're everywhere. So that's the other weird thing, because I think people buy them going, "Oh, I'm kind of exclusive in the Range Rover Evoque," but they're bloody everywhere. So they're not exclusive. Also, maybe I think the biggest embarrassment in the history of cars is the convertible version of this thing. That is a joke.
It's an abomination.
If you want people to laugh at you, and not in a good way, not like you're a stand-up, buy a convertible Evoque.
Yeah.
Horrible thing. Just don't buy one.
No.
Okay, this next... I don't like this next one. I like the problem is I don't like saying it because I really like the car. It's Japanese made.
Overall, it's not a terrible car.
No, but it has
Yeah.
an issue. We're talking Subaru Forester.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, because I really like them. I'm a bit of a Subaru fanboy.
They're affordable. They're practical.
We're talking the SJ 2014 to 2018. It's all the CVT with this, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, this is another car that really drives the whole CVT reputation. You know, they're terrible to drive. These are terrible to drive. They break a lot. Yes, these do break a lot. They're expensive when they break. Yes, these are expensive when they break.
In a perfect world, it's a bit like with the Nissan. In a perfect world, you'd find one that has had the transmission serviced way ahead of schedule. Fastidious owner that's never towed, never driven the thing hard. And those are out there, and they're a good thing.
No one in their right mind would tow with one of these, would they?
No, I've seen it. I've seen
No,
it
they
done.
wouldn't. I can't. I refuse to believe anyone would tow with one of these.
The problem is finding one that ticks all of the boxes in terms of previous maintenance and upkeep and preventative maintenance. They are so few and far between.
Yeah.
They're hardly out there. And how do you even prove that that's the case?
Yeah.
It's just not worth the risk.
Not at all.
Also, we've made a full review video of this car, but I remember with that one we tested and a couple of others my mates have got that I've driven, it just doesn't feel like the same sort of build quality and fit and finish that other Subarus have. It's, for me, the least Subaru I've driven for a while.
Feels like an old Subaru.
Yeah, but not in the kind of charming way.
No.
Yeah.
Like a Brumby.
And also, aside from the CVT issues, servicing still expensive?
It's not as bad as the earlier engines with a timing belt. The FB series is a timing chain, although they are prone to leaking oil, but they are generally a little bit cheaper to service.
Okay.
But
Than the previous one?
Than the previous one with
yeah,
the timing
cool,
belt.
cool.
But if you don't service them, they would just piss out oil.
Yeah.
But mainly the gearbox. Just service the gearbox every 50,000 Ks and it might be okay, but personally, I don't think it's worth the risk. When you're looking at a repair that typically starts at anywhere up to $4,000, it's just really not worth it. Not in a car that only costs, what are these selling for?
6 to 35. Well, let's say you're looking at one that's say 15 grand, 15 to 20 grand, and you could have a $4,000 to $5,000 repair bill.
Yeah.
Nah.
Considering the overall cost of the car, I don't think it's worth the risk.
6-speed manual.
Probably okay.
Yeah.
Not many around though.
No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the one to get. Learn how to drive a manual. If you want a Forester of this generation, learn how to drive a manual and get one of those.
Yep.
Otherwise, don't go near it.
Now, next on the chopping block is the Jeep Grand Cherokee.
We're talking the WK2. That's the 2011 to 2022.
And we might expand it to a whole bunch of other Jeeps too while we're at it.
We should. I think if it's got this logo on it, just don't buy it.
Yeah.
Caveat, if you're really into rock crawling and you're going to spend a fortune on a Wrangler and fix it every other weekend,
Sure.
cool. But otherwise, don't buy anything
Any other reason, any other use, any other purpose.
don't
run
buy
away.
anything with this logo. I actually, you know what? I think there's a bit of a Stockholm syndrome happening with the Jeep Grand Cherokee. I have a friend, she had one of these and had all of the issues. It became a legal matter, got out of it.
Yep.
It was a terrible situation. She messaged me going, okay, what Jeep do I get now instead? And I'm like, but you just had all these problems with the one you had. Why do you want another Jeep?
Yeah.
She's like, because it's a Jeep.
Yeah, she must have just thought it was just her car, not a widespread issue, which it is.
It's a widespread issue. These things can be an utter nightmare.
Yeah.
As we showed in the video, there are pieces of trim that can fall off internally and externally. There can be air conditioning issues, endless electronic issues. Infotainment systems just suck. The screens can turn black or they freeze or they're just slow or the Bluetooth drops out. Apple CarPlay drops out. Rubbish.
Yeah.
Okay, mechanically, are they any better?
No, not really. Most of them had the 3-litre V6. That's the engine by VM Motori, which is part of the Fiat group.
Yep.
Also, a lot of people have never heard of them. They're the biggest engine builders you've never heard of, probably.
Yeah.
But this engine in this car is prone to a lot of problems. I have a list. EGR coolers failing and ingesting coolant, intake manifolds failing, oil coolers allowing oil coolant and oil cross-contamination, and the list goes on and on. But weirdly, there are some out there that never have any problems.
This is the thing.
Yeah, you know, you hear the stories about, we towed our caravan all around Australia and never had an issue. Yet. no matter how good they say some of them are, I would never take that risk.
That's the problem that we have with them is that, yeah, you might have the occasional one that is perfect, that's great, but it's just too risky because what if you end up buying the one that is one of the lemons, like my friend's car? Also, as she found, and as thousands of other owners have found, the after-sales support is some of the worst out there. In fact, they've kind of been investigated a few times about how bad some of their after-sales support is. Not a good sign at all. And also, like, how long are they going to be in Australia for? There's all sorts of rumours about the car industry is in a state of flux at the moment, so we don't know if Jeep are going to be here.
Jeep in Australia had their backs to the wall a year ago. I don't know what's happening more recently, but they're not in great shape.
And if you're a regular viewer, you might be going, but hang on, you guys put the SRT, the V8 models on your future classics list. Yeah, absolutely. But just because it's a future classic doesn't mean it's a good car. There are plenty of currently classic cars that are shit cars. Pricing currently kicks off from about $2,500.
Oh, that's going to be a good car.
It's amazing. But then it tops out at $150,000.
That's going to be a good car. No, it isn't. What? Oh, Trackhaul. It's the Trackhaul.
It's the Trackhaul, but still, 150 grand and you still got bits of interior trim falling off.
Someone's going to pay it.
Yeah.
Not us.
No.
Actually, speaking of tech issues, there is a way you can fix a whole bunch of these tech issues in these older cars.
Yeah, if you want the latest in Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, or maybe some aftermarket suspension or some engine parts, driving lights, any accessory, dash cams, Automotive Superstore have over 400,000 parts from over 500 suppliers. To work out what's going to fit your car best, just type in your reg to the website and it will show you. They're mates of ours. Check them out. The link's down below. Okay, next up. It's another car from a company we've already mentioned. It is the Land Rover Discovery Sport, 2015 till present. What a nightmare. This is the SUV you buy when brand appeal and badge snobbery are higher on your priority list than build quality, reliability, any kind of logic.
Yeah.
This is all branding.
And it's not a terrible looking car. I've got to give it some credit.
I think it's average.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's not terrible.
No. Now you've got to remember, this thing's been in production for 10 years.
So they've got it all sorted.
No, this is the amazing thing. Any other car company, this thing would be faultless by now. But no, there are models that are 18 months old, 12 months old, that have got reported issues. How are they still stuffing this up after it's been in production for 10 years?
How are they still selling them 10 years on?
But again, it's like the Evoque, electronics failing, interior trim issues, exterior trim issues, water leakage issues, crazy, weird electronic gremlins.
Everything made of plastic, just falls apart and breaks. Mechanically speaking, it is another car with the Ingenium engine in it, so no need to repeat ourselves there. All the same as the Evoque, really. Run, don't walk.
Some of the air conditioning problems can be absolutely nightmare. Some of the air conditioning problems I've read, you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars to fix the air conditioning.
Evaporators, that means dash out, which is an all-day job, super expensive.
That's what happens when you add all that tech into the dashboard, and then when you've got to remove it to get to the air conditioning. Funny, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars to fix it.
And in the process of pulling it out, when you put it back in, some of it doesn't work, so you've got to pull half of it out again. Very rewarding.
Also, go and drive one. And tell me that it doesn't drive like every other SUV. There's nothing special about these. Really. I've had them new as press cars, and I just go, yeah, cool. I don't... Can someone explain to me? Can someone explain what is the appeal with this thing?
Why is it better than a Kluger?
Yeah, or why is it... Or a RAV4, or really any other SUV. Now, pricing currently, $10,000. You ready? To $125,000. Who in the name of all things messed up in the world right now is paying $125,000 for this piece of shit?
I feel sorry for them. I really do. Don't. You're better than that.
It's going to be worth $10,000 in no time. Just don't. Don't go near it. Terrible thing. And then finally, and I know we said this is in no particular order.
I reckon the people have been waiting for this one.
Yep.
They knew it was coming.
This is not only an SUV we wouldn't buy. This is not only an SUV I couldn't recommend more highly that you don't go near. This could be the worst car of all time.
But they're so cheap.
You ready?
Yep.
Holden or Chevrolet Captiva.
Yeah.
What a dog.
We've talked about these before. Everything on them is really very piss weak. They fall apart everywhere. Everything just falls off them.
Yeah. They're so cheap that people will pay you to take them off them.
Yeah.
That makes sense? They're so cheap that people will pay you to take it off their hands for you.
That's the appeal. That's why people buy them, because, oh my God, I can get an SUV for this much.
Yeah.
And I think I've got the best, like, non-car people,
Yeah.
people without the internet, or people that typically can't read or write. But they feel like they've got the best bargain ever.
Yeah.
And then they just don't know how badly they've been ripped off.
But I kind of get it, because you look at the spec sheet and you get all these features and all this equipment, and it's a Holden or it's a Chevrolet. It can't be that bad. No, they are that bad. We don't have time to go through all of the issues. No. We've made a full video on this. It was a long time ago. And they're only getting worse since we've filmed that.
Yeah, and you think, I haven't seen a Captiva for ages, but there are plenty of them for sale still, lots of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a dealership I went past in Western Sydney a few weeks ago, and the whole front row was Captivas.
What?
And I'm like, don't do that to people. That's a dishonest human selling them to poor innocent folk. Yeah. Not only an SUV we wouldn't buy, possibly the worst car ever made.
Definitely. Look, we do have an honourable mention, but before we go there, I just want to take a minute and thank our sponsor, Wipertech.
Yeah, honestly, we use them because they are some of the best blades in the business. And when you order a set for yourself, via the link below, you're going to get 15% off and free express shipping. Plus, they're a great Aussie company, and they have genuinely become mates of ours.
Yeah.
Show them some love. We love them.
Also, we love you even more if you hit that subscribe button.
And even more if you become a member, because that way you get to find out what cars we're filming before we film them and what we're doing with these sorts of chats as well. And you can ask questions and we'll answer them in the videos. And there's a bunch of other perks as well.
Now, the honourable mention.
Gen 1 Volkswagen Tiguan. This is 2008 to 2015.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
Yeah. Why would you buy one when you could buy a Golf All-Track for the same sort of money?
Or any other brand car that's not a Volkswagen.
Exactly.
At this age, that's fit for purpose. There are so many other better options. Look, I'll just quickly touch on engine issues, the EA 888 and the, what's the other one? The EA 111, the 1.4. They both have their fair share of oil consumption issues, timing chain issues, water pump issues, oil leak issues, and just smoke blowing issues, and they're just full of issues.
And then you've got electrical gremlins, you've got trim issues, you've got water ingress problems. They're average to drive.
Yeah.
The cargo space isn't as big as other cars in its class. It's just a bloody average car.
Yeah. Pricing. You can pick one up for as little as $2,000.
That's too much. That's about $2,000 too much.
Yeah. You can have all the issues with the $2,000 Gen 1 Tiguan.
Pricing tops out at $25,000.
That's surprising that they're that dear.
They shouldn't be that dear.
No.
Again, I think it's the brand thing. And people are like, Volkswagen's German. No, these are shit. Don't buy one.
Terrible.
That's it. Now we're going to do, this is going to become a bit of a series. We're going to do the cars we wouldn't buy, the luxury cars we wouldn't buy. What would you like to see us not buy?
Let us know.
Let us know in the comments. And thank you again so much for watching and all the support. You guys are absolute legends.